There's still quite a race to unfold. And here comes Westbrook for the pull-up. It's good! LeBron rises. For three! He's up real. Oh! Hart throws it down. Leonard raises up. Nothing with the ball! Oh! Do you believe that guy? Westbrook, the flush! What a pass! What a pass! Play of the day! Harden all the way to the bucket! How do you stop it? The race is on.
Who you like right there? Take your choice. There's no bad choice.
Check out Sekou Smith's MVP ladder on NBA.com as he ranks the candidates in one of the closest MVP races in league history. Tonight, the argument for the king.
The deepest and most intense MVP race since the 1990 battle between Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, Charles Barkley, and Karl Malone wouldn't be complete without the current face of the league, one LeBron Raymond James. Some would argue that LeBron is a hybrid of those four Hall of Famers of yesteryear, the only player who combines the brilliance, brawn, and next-level ball skills of all four in a wicked 6'8", 260-pound package.
LeBron James is the best player in the world and should be the MVP every single year.
He is the best player in the NBA. He's the best all-around player. He makes everybody better.
The same believers would argue that 4 MVP trophies already resting in LeBron's trophy case should have 4 more to keep them company. Much like what Jordan dealt with during his zenith, there appears to be a bit of voter fatigue where LeBron is concerned.
I think we're starting to take LeBron James a little bit for granted.
We've really become spoiled with his overall play.
He could win this award every season, and absolutely so since he's returned to Cleveland to resuscitate the franchise.
Welcome home, LeBron James! To Cleveland, that's for you!
The strongest case for LeBron adding a 5th Maurice Podoloff trophy to his stash is buttressed by what the Cavaliers were in his 4-year absence in Miami compared to what they've been since he returned. 4 dismal lottery seasons have been followed by back-to-back trips to the finals and the melting of that frigid 52-year title drought last season.
Believe in Cleveland! The Cavaliers are NBA champions, and the impossible dream has come true!
Still, this is an award for the current season, and LeBron checks off all the boxes there too.
James is a one-man wrecking crew. That's big boy basketball, and one.
He's averaging highs across the board since returning home, and he's on pace to join Oscar Robertson and Jordan as the only players to average 25, 8, and 8 and shoot better than 50% in a season.
Inside, throw it down! Oscar, that's for you!
His career-high triple-doubles this season is LeBron's way of keeping up with the times.
LeBron James wrapped up, spins it up and in! Why not? Exclamation mark!
He's the only MVP candidate to rank in the top 5 in minutes played this season, despite being the oldest player on this campaign trail.
He is so strong still, so fast, so difficult to guard because he's versatile.
He could rest on his laurels as the best player on the planet and cruise through regular seasons that don't require his best. But he doesn't. He continues to push and prod his way to the top of the heap every season.
Tough fadeaway, but that's what LeBron James does.
Boy, once he had daylight, that was it.
If the Cavaliers make it back to the finals, they will continue a remarkable run of 7 straight trips to the promised land for the man nicknamed the King.
Oh, it's that type of night for the King!
Suddenly, a 5th key MVP seems just a small piece of the puzzle LeBron's piecing together this season. But no doubt an important one to the legacy of LeBron James.
That was dope.
Now, these are all valid credentials for James' candidacy, but maybe those bottom numbers are most important because the season he's having compares very favorably to his 4 previous MVP seasons. Although he's not scoring quite as much, better rebounding and assist numbers than in any of those 4 seasons, and he shot better from the field than in all but one of those seasons. So maybe the point Sekou made about voter fatigue is at play here a little bit. How good a case does LeBron have as the 2017 MVP?
Not a very good one. And I say that with all due respect because his career in terms of this year, it's arguably this year is as good as any he's ever had. I think the other factor is the team is underachieved. Now, granted, injuries has played a big role of it. The fact they only have 50 wins. I think that plays a huge role for a team that's a defending world champ, and everybody had already anointed as going to be the team that come out of the East. And the fact they've had 2 losing records in months, I think that's what's hurt him as much as anything. If the team had achieved more, I think he'd have a much stronger argument.
Matt, he suffers from voters fatigue and also abnormally high standards that he set for himself. And there's only, 5 or 6 guys, again, that we talk about that in that room that they can be talked about as the greatest ever. And I'll go back to that year that Karl Malone won MVP over Michael Jordan. Mm-hmm. And undoubtedly, we say Michael Jordan, one of the greatest players ever, arguably he or Kareem, 1 or 2. But Malone was the MVP that year. And Jordan, to a man, everyone said he's the best player in the league. And that's where LeBron is at right now. And, I remember Coach Knight telling me this. He said, Isaiah, when they start measuring you against yourself, that's when you know you've arrived. And LeBron James is not measured by anyone else in this league. LeBron James competes against LeBron James standards every single night. And that's why he's in that special room.
And of course, MVP is not designed to be for the best player in the league necessarily. What's fascinating to me about LeBron,
but he is the most valuable to his team.
Oh, absolutely, to his team, of course.
He might not be the most valuable player in the league, but he's the most valuable player to the league.
To the league, yes, I agree with that for sure. What's one of the many fascinating things about him is that he just passed Shaq for 7th on the all-time scoring list at the age of 32, by the way. Yeah. And scoring is not his first priority.
I've said this, in the history of the NBA, he's the only player that's averaged 30 points for a game and scoring not be what he does best.
And he's not a 85 to 90% foul shooter.
No, he shoots 68 this year.
Yeah.
What he does to me better, he's the best passer in this game since Magic Johnson, I believe. And the thing about his passing is the great ones, they see it before it happens. And this is a perfect example. He already knows the weak side's emptied out. He knows his plays, right? But he also sees that as soon as Kevin Love gets that rough screen, that tells him that J.R. Smith's going to be open. More importantly, he delivers it with the defense. Now, this is actually, it looks simple, but this is actually even more impressive. Why? Because watch Jaylen Brown weak side. The weak side defense recognizes that Kyrie is coming. He throws this pass so perfectly timed and also with the right amount of pace that it allows Kyrie to catch, gather, and finish before the weak side can get there. Like, those are plays that are so special. This one, even more so. Under duress, broken play, over his right shoulder, hook pass, 35 feet to a guy in rhythm. In rhythm. I don't know if there's another player in the league that could make that pass. And he made it where it was a broken play. Like, he does things with his ability to pass the basketball. The thing about the great passing takes vision, but the greatest passers are also great ball movers.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of great passers, they can make the home run play, but the best passers also hit singles with their passing. And that's where he and Magic and Larry Bird, to me, separated themselves. They were great ball movers. When you were open, you got it. You didn't get it after they couldn't get what they wanted. You got it when you were open, and he's the best in the game at doing that right now.
Also does it with both hands. You see some of those long baseline passes he makes. He's basically ambidextrous, and he'll whip them down with the right hand, with the left hand, cross-court, that 35-foot pass you saw with the hook. He's got it all.
And Matt, those 3 guys that he named, Bird, Magic, and then you put James in that category, what they all have is a 5th passing lane, where you, Greg, and I, we only have 4 passing lanes. And what I mean by passing lanes is, passing lane is I got 1 here, 2 here, 3 there, 4 there. The 5th passing lane is over the top.
Right.
Because of our size, we don't have that 5th passing lane. Magic, LeBron, Bird, they can throw it right over guys' heads. So that hook pass that he was able to throw from the corner, any one of us trying to throw that hook pass cross court, the coach is up taking us out of the game screaming, and they're saying, I thought I told you never to throw a cross court hook pass, right? We can't make that pass because we don't have the 5th passing lane. Because of their size, they're able to have that fifth passing lane, which makes them extremely effective.
Well, LeBron James already has 4 of them. With a MVP win, he would join the exclusive 5 MVP club, which only includes Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Bill Russell, and Michael Jordan. Somebody's got to get it, and somebody will sooner or later.